Hello, my name is Laurel from TarotHeaven.com, and this is my two-part tarot series on exoteric versus esoteric tarot. Today I want to go over aspects of the Fool on an exoteric level. I use the Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I use other decks that are very similar, because they all contain the same symbolism. And I am super into symbolism, which is really more part of an esoteric version of tarot. But today I want to take a look at the exoteric level of the Fool. So I know everybody always wants to know about tarot, and they want to know about the divination of tarot. And if you do go to TarotHeaven.com, you will see that the first part delves into esoteric, and the bottom portion there is exoteric tarot, him or her as an archetype. The archetype of the Fool is an adventurer. They they love to like bungee jump, skydive, jump out of airplanes, hopefully with a parachute and a backup parachute. They're risk takers. So people like that can come up as an archetype, or even a profession, if you're a professional skydiver or a trapeze artist. So anything super adventurous, hiking, anything outdoors. I pick up on grunge, kind of hipster, maybe they're not fashion forward, so maybe hipster's not really the right word. And this is what I put on today. So that's the archetypal style of the Fool. He represents esoterically superconsciousness, which is all and everything, where it's the connection of both subconscious and consciousness. And then we have super consciousness, which is everywhere. So a person like this isn't gonna be so concerned with how they look or what they wear. And if you're doing the Fool for divination, I think that in love, the Fool isn't the best card to get when you're looking for love. Or I know the big one is, how does he feel for me? How does she feel for me? And I would take that as a no. They just are on their own path and they're doing their own thing, and they're a free spirit. But if you are in a relationship and you get the Fool, you may be a couple that breaks societal constraints. You may be from different ethnic backgrounds or different cultures. It may mean you need to look at your relationship from a different perspective, or that you're just, you marry somebody out of your cultural norm, something to that extent. Or could even exoterically be a card of a what is that when you need a green card? I could see that as the Fool in love. So that doesn't bode well in love, because then you'd just be getting married for a green card. But and love, that, so we've covered our bases with the Fool in love exoterically. I think as an obstacle exoterically, the Fool basically says don't do foolish things. And that's exoteric tarot, because esoterically we all know the Fool is a great representation of the idiot savant, or someone like Tesla. Nikola Tesla would be a Fool type of person, which is an obstacle. And we think, oh, that's not an obstacle. But a lot of people who have these brilliant ideas, at the time they had them, they were told they were morons. And then it turned out 100 years later that they were correct. So as an obstacle, it can come up for standing your ground because you know what you know is and you feel is right, and having the resolve to be the different one, the weird one, which actually ties really well into the hermit esoterically, because, and I hope I'm not rambling, which I am, because there's so much information I've got about tarot in my head. It's as big as my hair. That the Fool is related to well, I think its higher octave is Mercury, a Magician Mercury, and then Hermit Mercury. And if you know, that it actually all kind of goes together. And the Hermit is always like the weird personality. As advice, the Fool definitely promotes thinking outside of the box. It promotes as advice not being afraid to be different, because as I told my daughter, only bad girls make history. What else should I say about the Fool exoterically? Obstacles, careers. Fool is a career. We kind of talked about that a little in the beginning. The Fool as a career is, I would say, astrophysicist. You know, because they always have really interesting new ideas. Like, you know, you're studying dark matter and everyone thinks you're nuts. Nikola Tesla said some quote like, if you want to understand the world, think of the world as in vibrations. So I think astrophysics would be good. Mathematician. You're probably wondering, mathematician goes with astrophysics, but also the mountains in the background remind me of... they remind me of math. I don't know. Maybe I read that somewhere, or maybe I came up with it on my own. I have no idea, because I've been doing this since 1994. And so there's, again, my tarot ideas, it's as big as my hair. But a mountain guide would be another profession for the Fool. Or if you get the Fool as in a career outcome position, it may mean that you need to take a look at, you need to think outside the box. Maybe what you're thinking isn't going to work, and you want to take a different approach. And it is an outcome of a career reading, and an outcome of a Fool reading in love might mean that you need to rethink your relationship. Or maybe not care what other people think of your relationship, which sort of goes back to the maybe having some cultural differences in your relationship, or something like that. But in general, the Fool is not a great card to get if you're looking for love and the Fool pops up in any position. It's not like one of the better cards to get. You know, you're in love, you're looking for Two of Cups, Lovers, Empress. If you got the Empress, Emperor, and Lovers, you're good to go on love. I have not personally gotten that combination in my own love readings, which is why I'm probably still single. I totally relate to that High Priestess lady. I am accepting applications, and you can comment below. All right, so that wraps it up. That's about all I have to say on the Fool exoterically. And I will see you in my next video. Go to tarotheaven.com to read about all of my tarot musings. I update it at least once to twice a month. And it comes from actual experience. So, all right, I'll see you later. Goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. I said that twice, didn't I? Yeah, I need a director and like a script.